I really love this plant because of how much fruit it produces. You can just sit here and eat all day until you are completely full. We do this every single day. This is the Australian green variety, the long green one that tastes like honeydew melon. And this is a mulberry tree called chicken claw. You immediately notice the difference because of the leaves on this one. I didn't just take out one, I actually took out two white sapotes to make room for mulberries. On this channel, I do my best to learn and then teach what I have learned so that others can learn as well. These lessons are so valuable. We can go back and look at these videos later on to see things that might help us, especially if we are new to this. I wish there were channels like this available when I was first learning and starting to grow, to help me avoid the mistakes I've made, but that is okay. We learn from our mistakes. One of the mistakes I made when I first started grafting, planting trees, and laying out my garden was putting a whole bunch of coconut trees in my front yard. I had 6 coconut trees all around my front yard. The stumps from some of them are still there, because I have since removed almost all of them. Actually, I removed all of them from my front yard because they created a lot of shade and were going to get way too tall. More importantly, I only have a small amount of space to grow. When I was taking the coconuts off the tree, they would fall down and possibly break my other trees. So, it was not the best for my particular situation and location. I had to learn, and I had to take those coconut trees out, which is not an easy task. Another thing I did was plant a mulberry tree as one of the first things I put in. At the time, I didn't even know about many of the different varieties. I only knew of 2. I had a mulberry tree right here. In hindsight, if I had to do it all over again, this would be the perfect spot for a mulberry tree. But I was so naive and inexperienced at the time that I didn't know that. Now, I have a choquette avocado tree there, which I am happy with. But I would have loved to have had that mulberry tree still here today. What I did since then was move that mulberry tree to the front of my house. It was over there and doing great, and I was pruning it. But then I literally took the whole mulberry out. People from the neighborhood started eating from it, and I just didn't know. I was growing this tree and didn't want it to be blocked, so I took it out. I didn't think about mulberries for a while, but then I started to really think about them because I know that berries are so healthy and delicious. At the time, I considered it just a little snack, but it is a fruit packed with so much nutrition that I decided I wanted to grow berries. You can't really grow blackberries, blueberries, or raspberries here in South Florida, where I am, because they don't thrive. But mulberries thrive pretty much everywhere, especially here. As you can see recently, I have made several videos about mulberries. I had to get mulberries again. I don't know if this will be the best spot, but let me show you what I put in the ground here. From my research and the videos I have gathered for my particular situation, since I don't have the biggest space and my goal is to get the most productive mulberries possible, this was the ideal variety. This is called the Thai dwarf mulberry. There are little ones on there right now, which is cool. This spot right here is where it is going to grow nicely. I have a moringa tree nearby, but I continuously cut that back, so it will be fine. The Thai dwarf mulberry is the one I ended up putting in the ground. I also visited my friend Chris's farm, and his Thai dwarf mulberry is just amazing. There is another variety I saw at another place called the Shangri-La mulberry. I am also growing things in my neighbor's yard, and I had a star apple there that was really struggling. Since the Shangri-La grows a lot bigger than the Thai dwarf, I put it there. It is going to go really well in that spot. I didn't stop there. I am really excited to show you what else I did. Even the birds and the squirrels go after the mulberries. This Thai dwarf is the one I tell everyone they should have. You have to wait until they get really dark. This tree fruits throughout the year, and if you pull the leaves off, they will come back along with some of the fruit. They are amazing. We eat tons of them every day. I try to keep the tree as low as possible. After they fruit, you can strip the leaves so they grow back, or you can cut them. Everywhere you cut, they are going to throw out a new branch. I love this plant because of how much fruit it has. The birds were just here, and they can have all the fruit they want, but they aren't going to eat all of this. It is one of those trees that makes you wonder why you wouldn't grow it. The leaves are also very high in protein, one of the highest, actually. It is about 25% protein. I've heard you can eat the small ones raw, but most people freeze-dry them or dry them out to make a powder. I haven't really done that yet, so I need to look it up more, but the nutritional value is amazing. You could grow them in a pot for a certain length of time, but these mulberries eventually get huge. If you keep cutting it back, it will just develop a bigger trunk at the bottom. One branch even fell today because it had so much fruit on it. This is the dwarf Thai mulberry, which is different from the Thai everbearing. The everbearing has fruit, but they are much smaller, and the tree isn't as productive. I would choose the dwarf Thai over the everbearing 100% of the time. I also looked at the Pakistani mulberry. It tastes like coconut. It doesn't fruit as much as the other one, but the fruits are very long. It tastes the best, even if it doesn't produce as much. It fruits mostly once a year, but it keeps fruiting for a little while. The Thai variety is also delicious, but it is a huge tree and doesn't produce as much as the dwarf. The dwarf is the winner because you can sit there and eat all day until you're full. After seeing that, I had to get a Thai dwarf mulberry for my house. I put one in the back, and it is already almost as tall as me. I actually took out a white sapote to put this in because the sapote was going to take years to fruit and would grow so tall that it would block the sun. I can keep a mulberry much smaller. I actually took out 2 white sapotes for mulberries. I also planted a Skinner mulberry, which a lot of people are trying to get. I put that in the ground where I previously had a jujube tree. I also had a white sapote growing in the ground, but it was getting too big for the spot. So I dug it up, put it in a 25-gallon pot, and replaced it with a Pakistani mulberry. It is already starting to get fruit. I also visited Zane to look at his mulberry collection. He has 4 different varieties in the ground and plans to plant 5 more soon. He chose the ones he had access to, but he is only happy with 2 of them, the Thai and the Australian green. The Australian green is long and tastes like honeydew melon. You know they are ripe when they turn from lime green to a yellow color. They are very sweet and have a nice firmness. He chops his trees back to a stump every 2 years, and they are incredibly productive. The season on the Australian green lasts longer because the birds don't scavenge the fruit since they can't see that it's ripe. We also looked at the Himalayan red mulberry. Even as a small plant, it is already fruiting. It tastes like fruit punch and is one of the favorites, though the season is short. Then there is the chicken claw mulberry, which has very different leaves. It is a Pakistani type, and the fruits are very good. It is an awesome-looking tree. When planting mulberries, you should give them about 7 to 8 feet of space if you plan to chop them to stumps every year. If you let them get too big, the birds will get all the fruit. Mulberries fruit on new growth, so chopping them back can actually result in a better crop. You can cut them down to about 4 feet. They have a sprawling growth habit, but chopping them helps direct the growth. Some people even chop them twice a year to get more growth and fruit. The Australian green is a variety that not many people in South Florida are propagating yet. Some mulberries look identical, like the long Pakistani and the Himalayan red, but they have different flavor profiles. The Australian green is a great choice because of the bird resistance. Zane also has a white mulberry, but the fruits are so tiny that it isn't really worth growing. He is planting several more varieties this year, spaced 7 to 8 feet apart. Mulberries should be grown in full sun for the best growth. In the shade, they just stop growing. I have an Australian green mulberry here in a 25-gallon pot. These are not easy to find. I haven't decided where to put it yet. This variety is sensitive to nematodes, so it has to be on a rootstock. This one is on Thai dwarf rootstock. You can keep it in a pot for years, and it will be just fine. Since the fruit stays green, the birds and the neighbors won't know when it is ripe, so it might be a good candidate for the front yard. I am also on a search for the Himalayan red because it tastes like fruit punch. I have been making many videos on mulberries lately, which you can find on my playlist. At my other location, I put one mulberry in the ground as an experiment to see how it would do in a specific spot. I plan on keeping it low. It is in a spot between 2 mango trees. I also have a Thai dwarf cutting that I stuck in the ground to see how it performs in a shady spot. I have a few more mulberries in the front that are still in pots, including the everlasting mulberry, which is an ever-bearing variety, and the mojo mulberry, which is a new small variety with bigger berries. It has been a wonderful experience learning about mulberries and teaching others while learning from my own mistakes. As of June 15, 2026, I have mulberries in the ground again. I am constantly correcting what I thought I knew. I will keep you updated with more videos on mulberries and other tropical fruits. Keep growing. If this journey through the world of mulberries has changed the way you look at the potential of your own garden, please subscribe and like this video. We are dedicated to uncovering the agricultural history and techniques that help us thrive. Let's plant the seeds for a better future together. The next treasure of knowledge will be opened very soon.